I want you to think of the moment you felt the most capable in your life. Not the moment when you passed the hardest exams, not the moment when you got the best grades. The moment when you genuinely thought, I can do it. I can handle this. I know what I'm doing. Picture it. And now ask yourself, were you in a classroom? Let me guess, probably not. And today, that gap between where we learn and where we grow is exactly what I'm going to talk about. I want to ask you something harder. That question in your head right now asking you whether you're smart enough? Who taught you this? Because I'm sure you're not born saying it. And today I will talk about education that nobody put in your transcript. We've all been there, years of school, hundreds of pages, thousands of exams. And then a real question, a real deadline, a real team, a real situation, a real problem with no answer key at the end. The situation only asks, what are you actually capable of? What can you actually do? And after that question, you start your career. That sudden, uncomfortable, clarifying question is the beginning of real education. But sadly, most of us encounter it after we leave school. And that tells us something very important about education, about what school was actually teaching us. In this world, there are a lot of difficulties that we face, there are a lot of problems. And in a world full of project management, AI, there are a lot of things to manage and to talk about. I'm an AI engineer. I work with systems that learns neural networks, intelligent algorithms, language models. I'm also a NLP practitioner, a neuro-linguistic programming practitioner. I work with the hardest system and the most complex system ever built, the human mind. And we have what we call a model, the set of parameters that learns on data that works in situations and predict what the situation, the output can result. And each system has an output. Each system has an output, and whether you fail or whether you succeed, and each system runs on code. In a human being, we call it the ability, the identity, or just the way you are. Today, I'm working about what the difference between schooling and being educated. That's what I want to put on the stage. There is a big difference that we spend decades confusing the two. There is a difference between being schooled and being educated. Being schooled is something that happens to you. Like you show up, you follow a curriculum, you are evaluated, you graduate. Like the system has a clear input and a clear output. For sure, you enter as a student, and we hope you exit with your diploma. And education is something entirely different. Education is something that happens inside you. Education is the moment of when a question don't want to leave you alone, refuses to leave you alone. It's the discomfort of not knowing something that truly matters. It's the decision, entirely yours, to keep going when the exam is over. And there's some people that, okay, follow this process, go ahead, and they made the decision to pursue it. So schooling is a process you complete, but education is a posture you choose. Like some people miss that school did not just fail at teaching us curiosity. School taught us something instead. It taught us, between parentheses, what intelligence looks like, what failure means, what kind of people are capable or are allowed to tell themselves capable and what kind is not. So these are not objective observations. These are programs running in your background, shaping your future and your present. So in this second part, we talk about the like how the how shall I name it? When we talk about artificial intelligence and project management, two fields that on the surface seem a very difficult or not similar, but they share one fundamental truth. They share like the most powerful capability in the two fields that we have. They have to execute what we don't know. We have to result outputs that we don't know, and we go to them. When we talk about schooling, like you have all the process, you need to complete it one by one. We follow a curriculum, a very structured one. And the research from Meet University mentioned in 2018 that students who pass the advanced courses with highest grades fail just in few months to repeat the core concepts with their own words. Why? Because they just learned the basics. They don't learn the idea. They just learn the correct answers. Carol Dweck from the Stanford, who has decades for research, mentioned that students who are resilient, who are known with their resilient and intellectual identities, are not those praised with the highest scores or best correct answers. They are those celebrated for asking better questions. So there's a difference between someone who join a room full of experts and asks a question that it really matters and needed to be asking, whatever his instant when said that it should not you should to be quiet or you should to be silent and not to move and you have to still shy. So there is a very different between both profiles. Today, I'm standing here not to tell you that school is not enough, is broken. I'm telling you that school is not enough. School, like the classroom, only shows you how you succeed, how you follow a curriculum, maybe introduce you to new frameworks, to new fundamentals, but never ever show you the hunger and to learn something new. Never ever will give you the drive to pursue working without relying on your teachers, without relying on your classmates and the curriculum. So today I want to say that whether we celebrate like once you're kids or once you're done and you're graduated, we say, you're graduated, you're good, oh, well done, and here's your certificate. So whether we celebrate this success, we celebrate the fact that you can continue learning. What if we celebrate that professional that 5 years after his career went back to learn something new, something that completely differed to its own to its initial career? What if we stop treating curiosity as a personality trait and that some people have and others don't? Like you say, my kid is curious, I love this trait in him, but let's stop and treating it as a personality trait and starting treating it as a skill, whether you develop or you neglect. Curiosity actually is not a gift you're born with. Curiosity is a practice, and like any other practice, it needs to be developed. It needs a decision. Also, the voice that tell you you're not capable enough or you're not smart enough, it's a pattern, and like any other patterns, it can be broken. And also the thought that make you say education ends the day when you graduate. This is not the truth. It's a script, and scripts can always be rewritten. So the message I want to transmit today is not an advice. I want to ask you two questions, leave you with two questions. Who wrote your programs you're fulfilling? Who wrote your transcripts? And is it true or not? Thank you so much.